Right. We were looking at the new examples of pop-ups, and they have just changed so much in the last 8 years. They've really embraced technology, and they've really become a very important part of the brand launch and the brand mix. So I'm going to take you through a very few examples, starting with Tesco. So Tesco is the UK's largest grocery chain, and they moved into Korea recently. And in the Korean market, they really groundswelled and did incredibly well, and they became sort of like the second largest grocery store there. And this was just a great example of an awesome insight merging with great creative to create a pop-up store. So the insight was that Koreans are the hardest working people, and going to the grocery store is a weekly occasion that they all dread the most out of everything they have to do in a week. Because it's so busy, everyone goes at the same time, it's just so much, and they're exhausted already from working so long in the week. So what they did is they took photographs of the Tesco stores and presented it on the subway platforms. And so it was this shoppable experience that you could do while you were waiting for the train in the morning or in the evening. And you'll see a little example there. It's just all QR codes for price tags beside the milk and so forth, and it's just a photograph. So you just take a picture of the QR code, puts it in your basket, and it's going to get delivered to you that night when you get home. You can set up a delivery time. The increase that Tesco saw as a result of this pop-up store was insane. It was up for 6 weeks, and they saw their online shopping increase 230% within a 6-week period, which is just amazing. The other part of the insight was that the Korean population does have a smartphone. So that's something that we struggle with here in Canada about people not or yes having a smartphone. That was not the problem there. In more digital concepts, eBay launched a Christmas boutique in England from December 1st to the 5th, and it was just the best things of eBay. So what we love about this example is it's really that merge of online spaces and brick and mortar spaces coming together in a retail environment. So they presented all of the product, and they were QR enabled as well with their price tags, and it would just take you to the seller's page, so you could buy right there over your phone, and it would get delivered to your home. And it was going to be in time for Christmas because it was between the 1st and the 5th, and it was just in London, England, and it did incredibly well for eBay. And they said that they do have plans to do them again seasonally around the globe. Another example that you'll see in the report that we really love is Puma. So Nike owns the athlete, Adidas owns the street. Puma decided they needed to own something as well, so they decided to own the after-hours athlete. So somebody who's playing foosball, who's playing darts, bowling, so forth, and so they created the Puma Social Club, which has been seen in cities from Auckland to LA. And during the day, it's a full concept store, so you can shop in the space. And during the evening, it turns into a bar, nightclub. They bring in DJs, they bring in special guests. I believe it's Thursday to Sunday that it's really a nightclub from 9 p.m. onwards. And I just love this image. It says scoring leads to scoring, because it's all about, getting her number, getting his number is really the challenge of the evening, and that's the sport of life. So a really nice position for Puma to take. And this example, I think we love the most of all of them, because it's an invisible pop-up store. So instead of creating a pop-up store and getting retail space and so forth, Airwalk, when they were relaunching their gym running shoe, which I don't know if anybody remembers these back when Blink-182 was Blink-182. But anyways, I had a pair. And what they did is they GPS'd it. So there were 2 locations, one in Miami Beach and one in New York. And you had to go to the location, download the app, and then as you moved your phone around, you could see the shoes. And there were only 300 pairs of each style available in varying sizes. So if you clicked it, you got access to the web store so that you could buy the exclusive gym shoes that were available through this pop-up shop. And again, it's such a neat idea to see people going to a space that's in the middle of the city and shopping without there being a register or a store or anybody there to help you, or even live product there, which is really interesting.
This is an Airwalk store. And so is this. They are the world's first invisible pop-up stores.
Stores that can be set up anywhere at any time. Simply by using smartphones, geolocation, and augmented reality. We created them for the limited edition relaunch of the Airwalk Gym, a sneaker originally made for kids who hang out in skate parks or on the beach instead of going to gym class. So that's where we set up the stores. Because the marketing budget was small, we relied on bloggers to get the word out. And on November 6th, 2010, the stores went live for one day. To get the gym, people had to be in the right location, so they downloaded the Gold Run app, found the store, found the shoe, and bought it. It got a lot of buzz. Airwalk got $5 million worth of earned media, and their e-store had its busiest weekend ever.
Tell me what augmented reality shopping is and why that's going to be a big deal this year.
Augmented reality is pretty rad. For example, in New York City, we've got an invisible store where if you're in the right location and you put your phone up, you can see a whole Airwalk store.
An exclusive product sold to an exclusive audience for an entirely new retail experience.
They're a cool style, and I'm glad they're back, and I'm going to get a pair today.
The Invisible Pop-Up Store. Watch out for the next one, invisibly appearing near you.
And so just other things to look forward to in the report that is online right now for the pop-ups is the stock box grocery stores, which launched in the food desert in the US, where there's a really difficult access to get fresh produce. They used a shipping container and they move it about. It's full of fresh produce and great grocery offerings. Another great example that we have is the Walmart pop-up shop that they did for holidays. So people are going to the store to look at the printers, to look at the toys, and then turning around and buying them online. So Walmart answered that question by just offering a space where you could go and shop the product, but not buy it in the physical space. It's still going to get delivered to you. And it was specific for high-ticket items. And lastly, in the examples is the Karl Lagerfeld Net-a-Porter pop-up store, which they did in all of the fashion cities from Paris to New York. And the thing that's just so great about it is fashion pop-ups are so often like the product is there, it's exclusive, it's a one-time buy. But what they did is they launched online, and then the day after they launched a pop-up series. And you could go there, but again, you still couldn't buy the merchandise from there. You had to take a picture of it. You could see the prices only when you looked at it through your smartphone. And you could buy it from there, and they were reserved pieces, so you only could get them if you went to the pop-up store. And Kevin was kind enough to send me a link. There's a pop-up this Thursday by Target for Jason Wu. It's noon to 6, and it's going to be at King and John Street. So I think we should all take the afternoon off work to go to that. And that's all I have to say about pop-ups. Thank you.
Philip, before we close it off, did you want to just maybe share with everybody, we've kind of identified, remember this sort of the evolution of how it went from a physical store into something more, and maybe just sort of identify those top 3 or 4, because we were looking at pop-ups with nothing to buy and virtual pop-ups that didn't really exist.
Absolutely.
Just kind of outline those.
And that's how we outlined it in the report, was the idea of the digital space for a pop-up. So there was nothing to buy actually in the pop-up, such as the eBay example or the Walmart example, where you go in, you're going to shop, but you're not going to leave with a product. The other was the designed experience, which is like the Karl Lagerfeld and the Airwalk, which is where it's a very hyper-designed experience that you're engaging in. It's not just a store or a shop, if you will. It's really about engaging the brand. And the other was lifestyle, where it was very much not about selling something to you, but getting into like that cool factor on a very grassroots level, such as the Puma Social Club. Was there one more?
Yeah, and then there was that idea of online requiring offline validity almost to get people into that.
Right, and that's what was answered through the Walmart example, and there's another example in the report as well. And so it's about the brick and mortar store and the offline and the online space merging together to create a more cohesive brand experience for people, and also just to build that buyer confidence. because so often when people are looking at products online, they are going to a store and then returning online to purchase it. So it was just about closing that loop within the brand, and also to deal with the Amazon effect. Okay,